Hey everyone, how are you today? We are on day 15 of our 40 days of sacred clearing, excuse me, for women over 40, making space for all things new. I am Allison Rozelle, also known as Coach Roz. Excuse me, because I may have like a little tickle in my throat every now and then. I told you all previously that I've been battling with my sinus stuff. It's what happens around this time of year. I'm fine, and I'll push through it. But yeah, I just want to give that little disclaimer ahead of time and get that out the way. So, tonight I wanted to kind of talk, because I had in mind something that I wanted to talk about, but then I watched, Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. And this is the second season of it. I love Red Table Talk, by the way. And of course, with it being the premiere of the second season of it, she had her husband, Will Smith, on there. Um, so it was actually really good. Very insightful. And the thing that's so funny, not funny, or I'll just say interesting, it just confirms something that many of us need to realize. Celebrities are just like us. They regular people. They have issues, just like we have issues. Theirs may be on one scale and ours on another, but yeah, we're all one. We're all human, and we all have issues. So that was a very clear picture into this power couple, because we love making terms of calling people like power couples and everything else, um to show that they have issues, and they've had issues, and they talk about how they overcame those issues. So one part that was very interesting to me, um was the fact that Jada was saying how there was a period of time where she basically was like very unhappy, and she just couldn't shake the fact that she was unhappy, and there was a lot of stuff going on in their lives, and she went through that period of where she just was not happy. She uh, but almost caught herself, was like, who am I to be ungrateful? How dare I, you know, be ungrateful and not be happy with this life? I mean, I'm married to Will Smith, and we have, all these things, material, money and all this kind of stuff. So why am I so unhappy? Well, she's kind of talked about this before, but I think it bears repeating because it happens a lot. And this goes back to what I was talking about, us as women having our identity crises, is that we get in mom mode and wife mode, and we're there for our families. And by right, we should be, but we turn off us, of who we are. And basically, that's what I was hearing her say, is the fact that she basically turned off Jada. She wasn't Jada. She was Mrs. Smith. And that was just so interesting to me. Hello, Enchantress. Deep bow to you, my darling. It was very interesting to hear that and to hear her talk about that, because this happens very often to us as women, is like when we get in certain relationships, or once we have children, or we get certain, we reach certain parts in our lives, and then all of a sudden we forget who we really are, and then we're not happy. We're not happy with, well, thank you. Thank you so much. We're not happy with our lives, and people are looking at us from the outside. They say, oh my gosh, she's got it going on, she's got everything, she's got the perfect husband, perfect children, perfect this, perfect that, everything is coming up roses, and she's living this life, and she's never stressed. And this also goes back to yesterday when I was talking about taking the masks off. But we sit and we do this, and we lose who we are. And then it becomes a struggle from within. And then from the struggle that's going on within, it goes outward. And it starts coming outward towards the people we love, right? So I just felt that that was really significant for her to talk about that, to be vulnerable enough to share it, and to let people know, hey, at the end of the day, yes, Will and I have money and material things, but we are just like you. We have issues just like you. So I felt that that was a very important thing for them to sit and talk about, the ups and downs and hurdles of their relationship. So for me, that made me think about how many times did I stop being who I was just to do the persona of who people think that I should be. Does that make sense? So it's like a lot of times we dial back and we downplay our happiness. If we're not our happiness or our discontent with something or whatever, we downplay it because we don't want to rock the boat. And, and we also have people who love us and that we love, and our perception is they want us to be happy, which they do. They want us to have this particular life, and this is the life that I promised that I was going to live, and I have these obligations of things that I'm going to do, and, I'm being pulled in all these different directions, and all of a sudden, I find myself unhappy with what I have become, what I have allowed. And that was huge. She said, I allowed Will to put me in this position. I allowed it because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do, that I was supposed to do this. And I was like, we do that as women all the time. We live a life based on what other people's perceptions of what we should be doing, right? And we ignore all of who we are for the sake of fulfilling what either our families want, or our spouses want, sometimes even children want. We put that to the side of who we are just to fulfill these roles, and we just totally ignore who we are, and we lose it. And then we're unhappy. Then we're crying because Will had said he remembers that period of time of her crying for days and days. It was, if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend you watch it. Very, very eye-opening. Very relatable. Very relatable. As I say a lot, we are one. We pretty much all have some of the same problems. A marriage, they have their own issues. Single people, we have our issues. Parents, we have issues. But when we come together and we allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to share, and then that way other people can say, okay, good, it's not just me. It's not just me. They feel that too. And for someone as popular as Jada and Will to stand up and say, yes, this is something that we dealt with, I think that was phenomenal. So I just want to know, how many times have you lost yourself and lost who you are? When did you lose yourself and lost who you were for the sake of making other people happy and living out their dream? Because that's essentially what she was saying. She says, I was living out his dream, what he wanted, and what I wanted took a back seat. And this isn't just in couples where this happens. This happens where people are trying to live to please their parents, right? Even if the parents have passed away, they still find themselves trying to please their parents, trying to fulfill whatever it was that they said to their parents that they were going to do, even though that wasn't in them to do it. So how many times have you downplayed, and how many times have you took a back seat to what you really wanted just to make somebody else happy, just to people please, just to get, something from like your parents to be, pleased because we want to be that good girl that we're taught to be, So how many times have you done that? How many times have you lost yourself and allowed yourself to be lost? And then think about, what will it take for me to finally stand up and live my truth, my authentic self? How many more tears do you have to cry? How much more of a front do you have to put on? It's tiring putting on a front. I know. I've been there. I put on a front. Oh my God, that was so good. Whew. I could teach a class on how to live a front life. Okay? I really could. But it's so tiring. It's so tiring living a lie, living a life that's not yours, that's not remotely close to the life that you ever wanted for yourself. That is so exhausting, having that burden and living to make other people happy and not making yourself happy and not living for yourself. That's so exhausting. It's so exhausting. It's so disheartening. My spirit feels heavy when I can't express myself, when I can't be who I am, when I can't live and walk and own my truth. It is debilitating. So my question to you, I guess, is, aren't you tired? Are you tired yet? If you're tired and you're ready to start living your life on your own terms, if you are ready to stop playing small, if you're ready to stop sabotaging your success with people pleasing and stop living someone else's dream and start living your own dream, then my suggestion to you would be, stick with me. I can help you in that process, in that starting over journey. I want to help you. I already have a link for if you want to book a free one-on-one session with me and we can talk it out. I'm calling it your year-end review because we want to talk about, how did this year go? What lessons have you learned from 2018 that we can take 2019 and start that off, and 2019 will be on and popping? And I kind of think I already have my word for 2019, but I don't want to say it just yet. Just yet. Because my word for 2018, well, it was actually 2 words, was juicy abundance. And so far, yeah, juicy abundance has been really working out. Oh, thank you, Enchantress Shane. You are so awesome. I love you so much, girl. But yeah, I want to do a year-end review with you. It's a 20-minute call, and we are just going to sit and talk and chat and see which one of the starting over programs will work best for you. And then that way we can get your 2019 on and popping. So I'm going to post the link for that. Also, excuse me, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know, how are you feeling about these 40 days so far? Are you getting information that you already knew, or maybe some confirmation? Is there anything that you want me to talk about? Let me know and we will talk about it. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So I'm going to, and I can't believe I don't have my link ready, but I'm going to post the link. And if you are wanting to get your year-end review, Just click on that link and we will get it on and popping. And I see Brandy. Hey, Brandy. So yeah, we will get it on and popping. So I appreciate you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you again soon. Remember that I love, 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 love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.